Now, as the NBA navigates through this new media landscape, where there's more competition for viewers, you got a younger generation more preoccupied with the plethora of options that they have to watch from night in, night out, from social media to the video game world to the streaming world with entertainers such as Kai Cenat. The competition for younger viewers is at an all-time high. And previously, I discussed Jaylen Brown's sit-down with Stephen A. Smith, where they talked about him playing the corporate game and him being viewed as a disruptor. Because keep in mind, Jaylen Brown did support Kyrie Irving in his fight against Nike, and also he supported Ice Cube by showing up and participating in his Big 3 tournament. And that right there is one of the reasons why he's called a disruptor. Because as the NBA competes in this new media landscape for viewers, they do not want more competition coming in. And Ice Cube spoke about the NBA almost becoming adversarial and them showing up into this basketball landscape. But before we hear from Cube, we're going to reference back to Jaylen Brown's sit down with Stephen A. Smith, where they spoke about him being called a disruptor. You guys check it out.
The way, the shoe companies go about issuing deals and illustrating people's value in terms of IP, in terms of creative control, in terms of like how involved you are in the process, I think it needs to change. I listen to the voices of our older generation. I know players that I can name, superstars, that would tell you right now, man, they frustrated as hell. Their stuff can't come out when they want it to come out. They have no input or control. They was forced to renegotiate certain percentages that they think they should have more value. And they wish it was other options. So, people like to use the word disruptor for me, and I really don't like it.
You don't like the word disruptive for yourself?
It comes with the territory.
Okay.
But no, because everything that I've tried to be a part of, everything that I am a part of, my thought process has always been solution-based. Listening, being a rep, representing our 450, listening to what players are saying behind closed doors.
But some people would say solutions can be disruptive from time to time, depending on who you're dealing with.
Yes, no, you're correct. I just don't like to be called just like singularly a disruptor. I know it comes with it, but my thought process has always been solution-based, trying to create a solution for what I feel like in society, from an athlete perspective, is viewed as a problem. And that doesn't just stop at the shoe industry. The agency model, we can go more in detail. Yeah. Actually, I could talk to you all day about this stuff. We have a lot of meetings with the union, which I'm happy to be involved with. I've been since I was 21 years old. So I've been 7 years now.
So right there, Jaylen Brown gives us insight to how he's perceived around the league. And now we're going to see one of the reasons why, because the league that he participated and showed support for, Ice Cube's Big 3, was something that the NBA and Adam Silver was adversarial towards. And Ice Cube is going to give us great insight on that. And this is one of the reasons why he's viewed as a disruptor. But at the same time, the NBA markets themselves as supporting small black business. This is where this area kind of gets tricky, because it's not necessarily a race thing, but they got to understand how the optics look. These optics, sometimes they look funny in the light. So there's a lot of backdooring and self-sabotage that's done not necessarily too overtly, more indirect and behind the scenes, as Ice Cube is going to allude here. But at the end of the day, this is really about business. The NBA does not want more competition to take away eyeballs and perhaps advertisement dollars, entering to an already crowded up media landscape. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
Who the fuck thinks to bring the players that are over the hill, if you will, in the NBA and put them and let them compete and give them an opportunity to be, like, compete again? I'm like...
Well, you know what, I looked at 3-on-3. I played a lot of 3-on-3 growing up. We had some of the biggest battles in my backyard.
Okay.
On my street, in Van Wyck. And I always loved the game. I always loved the mano-a-mano of it. You're involved with more of the action if you play 3-on-3. Everybody done played 5-on-5.
You can hide.
And done ran 4 or 5 down the court and ain't touched the ball. You like, hey, man. Hey, homie.
I don't want the ball. I just stay close to my guy and say, please don't pass me the ball.
I'm just running.
Yeah.
So everybody like 3-on-3 because, you can't hide. And I was like, man, why isn't this elevated to the professional level? I'm seeing
God.
Nike doing the weekend warrior, bring your 3-on-3 team down and we playing in the parking lot of the stadium, and Mountain Dew and all these like amateur tournaments, and I'm like, where's the pro version of the game? And I'm like, oh, it's a void in the industry.
You see all the connection between the sponsors? He's looking at the sponsors. Mountain Dew, Nike, they all have NBA affiliations. The league doesn't necessarily have to speak to Ice Cube to sabotage him. They could just tell the sponsors, hey, don't mess with him.
It's a void here. And it's in that window where, when the finals is over, everybody got a basketball hang.
That summer is so brutal. It's hell for sports fans.
Yeah, when the finals is over before the NFL kickoff.
All we got is baseball.
Man, so I used to hibernate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a bear and shit. Wake me up in September.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, it's a void in the industry. We can put an actual sport 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That means something and give people something to do in them dog days of summer. So, all those elements. Now, we was just shooting the shit. When I say we, it's my partner, Jeff Quanitz. We've been working together for 27 years. So we just shooting the shit for a whole year. What if we did this? How can we do this better than the NBA?
Yeah.
How can we treat our athletes better than all the sports leagues? And then, when a good idea starts to build on itself, we was like, man, this would be an amazing league. Who gonna put this together?
Who's the first?
Yeah,
so who's the
who
first?
would do this?
I would say, who do you call? I want to do a basketball league. Like, who do you call? Like Michael Jordan? I'm like, I don't know who to call.
Well, what we start doing is we said, okay, to start a league like this, we got to start with credibility. So let's go get some of those Hall of Famers who we know built the game but didn't get paid off the game. So we start talking to George Gervin, Iceman, and Clyde Drexler, and Dr. J. And
all those guys still have NBA affiliations. Best believe the league is not happy about that, because at the same time with Ice Cube associating with those guys and those guys associating with his league, it's almost as if the NBA is putting their stamp on Ice Cube's league and verifying it to the audience. Like, hey, this is official. So they understand how the optics look like. But it's a nice little chess move by Ice Cube right here.
And these dudes was like, this is a great idea. And they wanted to be a part of it. So when you can get the endorsements of those dudes on a basketball idea, you must got something. And it was just formatted and calibrated right to where it was fun to play, fun to watch. You're getting, multiple games at an event, so you get to see the whole league. Where else can you go and see the whole league?
That's real.
And so it was just good idea after good idea. And now, it was about finding the people. It's like a SEAL team. We don't have a platoon of people. We just got a small unit that know how to go
Get busy.
And get it done and get out. So
y'all hear that?
we don't take no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? We rough enough for what was to come. And it's rough trying to introduce a new sport in the middle of all these 800-pound gorillas like the NBA and the NFL. And nobody wants a new sport to come in because you start to take advertising dollars.
And especially when they view this color owning it, because you could bring the information back to more people. You look like you'll help more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more about advertising dollars.
And also more eyeballs. Even though Ice Cube's league is during the summertime, the NBA is starting to take a page out of the NFL's playbook. They're extending the draft to 2 days. The free agency period has become almost a fiasco in itself. It's its own ecosystem now. And they want to occupy the news cycle throughout the whole year. That's the game plan. So they're trying to figure out new ways of doing it. Summer League now has become a whole event in itself, going out there in Vegas. So the NBA understands that, hey, the NFL is starting to steal some of our market share with Christmas games and also having their draft extend longer. So we have to kind of occupy the same space. So that summertime window, which used to be free, is actually getting more and more crowded every single year. So Ice Cube's assumption that the summertime is still wide open, it's actually closing. And right now it's really only, I would say, the month of August when it comes to the NBA fully kind of being offline.
If you this color, owning it, because you could bring the information back to more people. You'll look like you'll help more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more about, we need Pepsi to give us that money. We don't need them to be breaking off these other leagues.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to give us less. So everybody try to keep you out. So, I tell my guy, it's the equivalent of trying to hold off a 800-pound gorilla while you build an ocean liner at the same time.
So did you, obviously I heard you speaking about your discrepancy with the NBA. Did you reach out to them and say, hey, would you guys like to be a part of it? And they just said no?
We met with them, and they were like, the more basketball the merrier, man. You got our blessings. Yeah, go for it. We was like, well, we want to give you guys a piece. We offered them 10% of the league for free.
Now that right there is real interesting. I'm wondering how Ice Cube really approached them, because them starting off a league with random players and making it 3-on-3, I don't think that would bother the NBA as much. But the fact that they're using former NBA players who pretty much, once people see them and their name, it's associated with the NBA. So if they see those same people with another product associated with basketball, people would automatically assume it's like a cosign from the NBA. It's almost like a valid stamp to the viewing audience. And if that's Ice Cube's approach, their business minds is telling them that 10% isn't shit. Our percentage is really almost 90 to 100%, because you're building that league off of their brand recognition.
Just don't fuck with us. I love it. Don't try to kill us.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, we giving you this. We know this is your thing, basketball. You guys think you own it. Okay. We in y'all hood, we want to break y'all off. They was like, no, thank you, but no thank you. Do your thing, Cube. So as we go to do our thing, we find out there's hate behind the scenes.
Very passive aggressive.
And that hate will come very subtly. And you see how the NBA treated Ice Cube, not overtly telling him, hey, they didn't necessarily think that was a good idea. They just kind of passive aggressively went on about their business. It's the same way with Jaylen Brown. They did not want an active all-star player participating in Cube's Big Three. It kind of gives that league a stamp of approval to the viewing audience that a current NBA all-star that's knee deep in the playoffs every single season is participating in Cube's league. This is why they view Jaylen Brown as a disruptor. But at the same time, the situation is delicate. Jaylen Brown is supporting, in his mind, a small black business venture. And the league has to make sure the optics does not look like they're trying to crush a small black business, which in reality, that's not the case. They're just trying to eliminate any type of competition.
Aggressive.
Very passive.
Oh my God, we love what you're doing. Go do it. And then as soon as you walk in the room, they say, kill him.
Kill that shit.
Kill that shit.
So
that's what makes us gangster, by the way. That's what makes us gangster, by the way. What makes us gangster, we're going to tell you to your motherfucking face no.
Yeah, we'll tell you.
We're not going to be passive aggressive.
I would have respected Adam Silver if he'd have told me, come on, Cube. Do you see us starting a rap group? Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Just do your music.
Yeah,
man. I'll invite you to the games. You can, man, don't fuck with us, man. Don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't like other leagues coming in.
But
I'm gonna still have to shoot Adam Silver some bail here, because I don't know how Cube fully explained it to him, because those meetings would have went a lot different had Cube said, hey, we're using some of your legendary NBA players that built their name off your league, and we're going to kind of use it as a valid stamp in the viewers' eyes of the credibility of our league. That's where the NBA probably had a lot of issues with, but we don't know how Ice Cube explained it to them. Again, very interesting portion early on in this interview where Cube had noted that the previous players of the past have not been compensated as well as the players of today. So he clearly spotted an opportunity to use their names and give them an ownership stake in a different type of entity. But hey, it is what it is. Jaylen Brown, you see why he's called a disruptor. I could imagine how furious the NBA was with an all-star, current all-star, showing up to Ice Cube's Big Three when Cube himself had let it be known that they try to sabotage him behind the scenes. And the optics for the NBA do not look good if they were to chastise and punish Jaylen Brown for making that appearance. But best believe they were not happy about that. And people like Stephen A. Smith, when you hear them say executives behind the scenes is saying that he's not marketable, that's really where all that sentiment comes from. But hey, it is what it is. You guys definitely hit up the mailbag in the description below. Leave me with any questions you have. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.